Steph Curry just made NBA history again. No, you're not dreaming. Steph Curry just pulled off a performance that's never been seen in the history of basketball. We're talking 52 points, 12 three-pointers, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, and 5 steals. All in one game. Not MJ, not LeBron, not even Wilt Chamberlain in his prime ever put together a stat line like this. And just when people started whispering that Steph might be slowing down, he answered loud and clear. This wasn't just a hot night. It was a reminder. A message to the league that the baby-faced assassin isn't going anywhere. The Warriors have had an up-and-down season. Jimmy Butler joined the mix, and Steph kept doing what Steph does best, but cracks started to show. At 37 years old, fatigue began to creep in. He missed a few games, the team hovered around the play-in zone, and every matchup down the stretch became critical. Then came the showdown in Memphis. The stakes? Massive. The Warriors needed a win to stay alive in the brutal Western Conference playoff race. Under the bright lights, with pressure at its peak, Curry erupted, putting on a show so absurd it shut down every doubt, every headline, every hot take about him fading. This wasn't just a game, it was a statement. Steph Curry is still that guy. Steph Curry just flipped the script in Memphis. In one of the most electrifying performances of his legendary career, Steph Curry went off, dropping 52 points, pulling down 10 rebounds, dishing out 8 assists, grabbing 5 steals, and even adding a block. He didn't just score. He dominated, hitting 12 of 20 from deep and shooting over 50% from the field, and he did it all in just 37 minutes. The result? A 134-125 win for the Warriors in a must-have game. But this wasn't just about the box score. It was about redemption and total control. Curry didn't just play well. He orchestrated the game like a maestro. His shot selection was flawless, his timing surgical. It was the kind of performance where every possession felt like an extension of his will. And what made it even more powerful? The context. The last time the Warriors visited Memphis, Steph had what might have been the worst game of his career. Just 2 points, no made field goals, and a 51-point beatdown at the hands of the Grizzlies. It was a night to forget. But this time, he made sure no one would forget. From the opening tip, he came out locked in, relentless, precise, and on a mission. This wasn't just a bounce back. It was a message. Even as his career inches toward its final chapters, Steph Curry's greatness isn't fading. It's evolving. This wasn't just a comeback. It was a takeover. Steph Curry's monster night wasn't just about revenge. It was about reminding everyone who runs the show. And from the very first possession, it was clear. This game was going to be different. Sorry, opening play? Classic Warriors. A smooth Steph to Draymond connection. Textbook ball movement. Bucket. But that was just the spark. Moments later, the firestorm began. Steph went nuclear. His first 6 shots, all makes, 4 of them from beyond the arc. He was pulling up in transition, dancing in isolation, slicing through defenders like they weren't even there. And he wasn't just cooking on offense. He was a problem on defense too, cutting off. Passing lanes, swiping steals, locking in on both ends of the floor. The Grizzlies couldn't breathe. By the end of the first quarter, Curry had already stacked up 19 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and hit 5 of 6 from deep, just in the opening 12 minutes. No one in NBA history had ever packed that much production into a single quarter. Not LeBron, not Kobe, not even Steph himself. Until now. This wasn't just a hot start. It was pure domination, and the league had no choice but to take notice. Doing that at 37? Unbelievable. Not MJ, not Kobe, not even LeBron. No one at Steph Curry's age has ever done what he just did. At 37 years old, Curry became the first player in NBA history to put up 15-plus points, 5-plus rebounds, and 5-plus three-pointers in a single quarter. That's not just elite, that's unprecedented. By the second quarter, the Grizzlies were desperate. They'd seen enough of the Steph show and tried everything to shut it down. Traps, full court pressure, and constant bodies thrown his way. Jalen Wells, Scottie Pippen Jr., you name it. They were hounding him 94 feet trying to wear him out. But Curry? Unfazed. He responded with a scorching 10-point run, knocked down his 8th triple, and cruised into halftime with 32 points on 11 of 16. Shooting. including a ridiculous 8 of 10 from downtown. That first half alone tied him with LeBron James for the third most 30-point halves since tracking began in 1997. And he wasn't finished. Coming out of the break, Curry picked up right where he left off, drilling 2 quick threes and scoring 6 straight points to open the third. He added another 7 before the quarter ended. Then came another milestone, passing Jerry West to claim the 25th spot on the NBA's all-time scoring list. Going into the fourth quarter, the message was clear. This wasn't just another Curry game. This was a night for the history books. And Steph still wasn't finished. After torching the Grizzlies for 45 through 3 quarters, Curry added another 7 points in the fourth, closing out a tight 134-125 win for Golden State. Head coach Steve Kerr said it best after the game. I mean, the guy's 37 years old. It's incredible. 52 points with people draped all over him all game long. The conditioning, the skill, the audacity, the belief. It's incredible to watch Steph, and truly that's what this night was. Vintage Curry. He played like he had something to prove, like every doubt, every critic, every whisper about his age lit a fire. And Memphis had no answer. He diced up their defense with brilliant spacing, off-ball movement, elite footwork, and signature shot-making that ignored the laws of balance and distance. It wasn't just athleticism, it was pure basketball IQ and unshakable confidence. After the game, Curry himself reflected on what fueled the explosion. Last time we were here, shot attempts were way down. They were top-blocking 94 feet, doing everything they could to keep the ball out of our hands. You can't find a rhythm like that, but tonight we just focused on getting the ball in early, creating movement, and finding windows to work with. And find them he did. Steph didn't just bounce back, he broke out, put history on notice, and proved yet again that greatness like his doesn't fade with time. It just evolves. And it wasn't just about the buckets. Curry wasn't only lighting it up from deep, he was everywhere. On defense, he was swiping passes, grabbing boards, even swatting a shot. On offense, he wasn't just scoring, he was setting up teammates, racking up 8 assists and dictating the pace like the floor general he is. This was more than a hot shooting night. It was a full-blown takeover. Memphis had no answers from start to finish. Every time they thought they had him covered, he found a new way to break free. Chaos, as Curry himself said, was the goal. We just wanted to get the ball in our hands as much as possible and then let the chaos kind of flow from there. And flow it did. Straight into the record books. With this performance, Curry made NBA history. Again, it was his 8th career game, scoring 50-plus points while shooting at least 50% from the field and 60% from 3, surpassing Michael Jordan for the most such games ever. He became just the 3rd player in league history to record 50-plus points, 10-plus rebounds, 5-plus assists, and 5-plus steals in a single game, joining legends Rick Barry and Anthony Davis. It was also his 15th 50-point game, tying Damian Lillard for 6th all-time, and moving past LeBron James, who has 14. And if that's not wild enough, it marked his 27th game with 10 or more made three-pointers. The next closest, his own teammate Klay Thompson, with just 9. This wasn't just stat padding, it was legend building. A reminder to everyone watching, Steph Curry isn't winding down, he's rewriting what greatness looks like. This wasn't just a performance. It was a masterpiece. What Steph Curry delivered wasn't just about numbers. It was a timeless reminder of what makes him the greatest point guard of his generation. With the pressure high, the crowd hostile, and his team needing a win, Curry didn't flinch. He delivered, in full Steph mode, but while his brilliance stole the spotlight, this was far from a one-man show. Draymond Green turned back the clock with a classic triple-double. 3 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, plus 2 steals and a block in just 33 minutes. It was the kind of all-around impact that reminded everyone of the heartbeat behind the 2015-2019 dynasty. Draymond was in control, dictating the tempo, running the offense like a true point forward. His connection with Curry? As lethal as ever. He laid down bone-rattling screens, made sharp reads on the short roll, and delivered laser passes right into Steph's shooting pocket. Their two-man game is still one of the most dangerous weapons in basketball, and the league still hasn't cracked the code. Now it wasn't a perfect game for Draymond. Defensively, he struggled at times against Memphis's size, and his three-point shot was MIA, just 1 for 7 from deep. But even with those hiccups, he was locked in, and when Draymond's engaged, the Warriors hit a different gear. And speaking of gears, Jimmy Butler showed exactly why Golden State brought him in. He dropped 27 points and made his presence felt on both ends of the floor. Tough, smart, and relentless, Butler played like a man who knew this game mattered. Jimmy Butler was the X factor. While Curry lit up the scoreboard, Jimmy Butler quietly delivered his best game yet in a Warriors jersey, and it came at just the right time. He finished with 27 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals, but it was his efficiency that really stood out. Butler did most of his damage while Curry was on the bench, keeping the offense flowing and the pressure on. He shot a smooth 7 for 11 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, and didn't miss a single free throw. A perfect 12 for 12 at the line, but his value went way beyond the box score. Butler took on every challenge defensively, switching on to nearly every key Grizzlies player throughout the night. He brought that signature swagger, calm, confident, and quietly disruptive, the same energy that helped lead the Heat to 2 NBA Finals runs. And when it mattered most, he stepped up big. In the fourth quarter, with the game hanging in the balance, Butler dropped 10 crucial points to help close out the win. While Curry was the flamethrower setting the arena ablaze, Butler was the steady hand, keeping the Warriors locked in and on course. It was the perfect blend, Curry's chaos and Butler's control, and just like any heavyweight showdown, the stars came to play. On the Grizzlies' side, Jay Morant exploded for 36 points, Jaren Jackson Jr. added 22, and Desmond Bane chipped in 19. They kept Memphis in it till the final moments, but ultimately, it just wasn't enough. Not against a locked-in Steph, not against a rising Jimmy, not on a night like this. The Warriors' big three showed out, but Steph was on another planet. Jimmy Butler, ridiculously efficient. 7 points on 7 of 11 shooting, a flawless 12 for 12 from the free throw line, plus 6 boards, 4 dimes, and 3 steals. He brought grit, control, and timely buckets when it mattered most. Draymond Green, vintage Draymond. 13 points, 10 rebounds, 12 assists, and added 2 steals and a block. He ran the show like a true floor general, bringing back flashes of the dynasty days. But let's be honest, if Butler and Draymond didn't show up, Steph might have done it all himself. Curry didn't just dominate, he delivered one of the most jaw-dropping performances of the entire NBA season. 32 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, 1 block, on 16 for 31 from the field, and a scorching 12 of 20 from 3. Insane efficiency. Historical numbers. Pure brilliance, and it wasn't just about stat padding, this was a massive team win, and one that could be a turning point. With this victory, the Warriors jumped to 44-31, sliding up to 5th place in the Western Conference with just 7 games to go. Every game counts now as they try to dodge the play-in tournament and lock in a guaranteed playoff spot. But the road ahead? Far from easy. Golden State faces the 10th toughest remaining schedule, including back-to-back matchups against teams ahead of them, the Nuggets and the Rockets. How they perform in this stretch will likely decide their postseason path and their title chances. If they can secure the 5th or 6th seed, or even make a push for home court in the 4th spot, their championship outlook becomes much more realistic. But falling into the play-in? That's extra games, extra miles, and extra risk for an aging roster. The West is loaded with firepower, OKC, Denver, the Lakers, but the Warriors have something the rest don't, Steph Curry. A walking inferno who can drop 52 without even blinking. And when Steph is locked in like this, anything is possible.